Hello, everyone. This is the Three Faces in the Dark podcast. This is your host, Big L, today. And together with me, we have Bias Opinion and Joseph. All right. So for today, we have a few things that we want to talk about for the PoE League. Currently, it's week 3. And I think that recently, GG just dropped the new patch. So we will talk about that in the first place. So what's your experience with the new patches, guys?
So far, total, I have been just running Tota since the beginning of the league until now. And then with the new patch, actually, I don't really know what people is complaining about. So I've been running at 2K rating for the past week. And uh, Titanic Shell is not a problem because you can just fill up your attackers and escorts with the more DPS units like Caldera or Goliath of the Night or Jadehawk. Then I believe today Reddit, there was this guy that showed that you can clear the Titanic Shell with normal units as well. But that's just to prove a point to people that Titanic Shell is not a problem, right? And honestly speaking, like the rewards have just is fine. Uh, like I said, I've been running Tota for the past week. I haven't touched maps at all. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for Titanic Shell, most of the things is. I think the people who are complaining about Titanic Shell is running the Tota with a build that is not meant for Tota. They are just using their mapping build for it. And as I see, Tota is a very specialized mode of PoE that they introduced this league. And you really have to find a build that specifically does it well. If not, most builds is going to suffer, and which is why I think that there's also a mentality that PoE players wants to kill the monster that they see on the screen. That's why Titanic Shell wasn't designed to be killed. I think you have to play smart around it. You have to use the units to kill it, right? And I mean rewards are good. They never fix anything regarding rewards. So I think that's cool. What about you, Bias? Any new thoughts on the new patch?
Sadly, I don't think I actually played much of the new patch. I tried making a new character and was mostly out the whole week. So I actually never got to play much of the new Tota. Yeah.
What's the build that you're currently making?
I'm hoping for Guardian. So I went to check that Holy Relic is actually very cheap right now. Probably can get a replica Dragonflight, but it will take up the amulet slot, which I really want so that I cannot die. But I think Guardian is one of the strongest starter builds, especially if they then don't get nerfed. Right. And I think the triple auras would be good with the Holy Relic because Holy Relic is a physical base as well. Yeah. And I think it's really underrated. I also snipe a bunch of +2 minion level Batas. Not that cheap. I think around like 70C or 40C. But 70 to 40C is almost nothing, right? At this point of the league. So I'm hoping not too many things get too expensive, like physical damage tattoos. Oh my god.
But doesn't Summon Holy Relic actually needs your character to hit something before they pulse? So you're running Cyclone, basically.
Right. So I went to do a little bit more research on this. There's new tech now. So you can either use Cyclone or Static Strike. Static Strike's pulses considered as attacks. So the Holy Relic will pulse together with the Static Strike. I think this allows you to Static Strike and use another minion skill, like Unleash SRS if you really need a lot of damage. Which I think is really good for League Start, but it seems to be a little bit too much button presses for me right now.
I mean, it is. And I think the tech is good, but I think when you're planning for league start, I think we have to plan without the current league unit because Mata is a Dota unit, and we will know if GG is bringing it back. Just like how people were trying to plan around Sandstorm Visage not being around, and people still want to play Hex plus minus, right?
Right. I'm pretty sure you don't need Matas for this to be good. You also don't need the Replica Dragon's Flight. Even though I think Replica's Dragonflight really rewards using non-meta skills, right? Cause like I saw the Holy Relic Replica Dragonflight, that's like 50C. Toxic Rain, all the meta skills are like 17 divines. It's like completely different version. Yeah. So you don't need matas. I know they used to use the Scourge for some dominating blows one. You can also try Cold Iron Points might work as well. The only unit you really need for Holy Relic is Joffrey's Crest, which might be a problem, I'm not sure.
Okay. I believe Joffrey's Crest is actually quite a common drop. It's just whether you are greedy enough to get it enchanted with the Holy Relic Helm enchant. If not, I think it's quite a common drop for anyone, even for solo self-found players to even play that build.
Yeah, I was checking out the enchants for Holy Relic. The only one that seems to be quite interesting is the AoE, but there doesn't seem to be anything that would make it too expensive.
Okay. So, personally, I would say that I've been just farming regular content. The new league hasn't really impacted my progress for the game thus far. But it actually makes a lot of the challenges that I did easier, especially the one that you have to sacrifice ritual monsters. Now they also let you sacrifice rare monsters. Back then it was only unique. So there was a technique back then. We have to actually, for the fastest one, we actually catch city square boss inside the ritual. So we catch them already. We use them on another city square so that we have 6 boss the next map. So that was the way to stack up the challenges fast enough for us to clear. But they fixed it so that it's easier to clear now. And there was also another challenge. I believe it was the Harbinger one. The Harbinger bosses from Beachhead now counts as a counter for your challenge, and that's something I'm very pissed because I actually did the Beachhead before the patch. Then I have to do another like 20 maps just to finish my Harbinger bosses. So I'm not very happy about that. But you know what? I will take bug fixes anytime, right? Then alright, so let's see. I think that's overall for what we have experienced. Or of course, what Reddit experience is a bit different. A lot of people complaining about Titanic Shell, but like what Joseph has mentioned just now, I think if you have a build specifically made for it, Titanic Shell shouldn't be a problem. And let's just say Titanic Shell is a problem. What do you really lose? One round and one coin. You don't really lose a lot. And let's just say you happen to land a big reward, then just take a L, right? You're gonna play so much more rounds that it's going to be better than what you going to potentially lose. So I don't see the complaint is a bit unfounded because it seems like everybody just like to complain about anything these days, right? All right. Yeah, bias.
Right. So about the Titanic Shell, right? I think if you take note on which chieftain actually spawns him, you can take out that chieftain first. Titanic Shell only comes later on in the rounds, so if you really hate the Titanic Shell, you can just take out the chieftain. Yeah.
Do you know which chieftain Titanic Shell spawns with, or is it non-specific?
Titanic Shell spawns from the third round onwards, if I'm not wrong. And the most common chieftains are Utula and the last guy, the ground slam guy. I cannot remember his name.
Kahutora or something.
Yeah.
Kahutora, alright.
Then,
Alright.
if I'm not wrong, all the other chieftain also have a very small chance that they will have Titanic Shell with them. So sometimes it's just unavoidable.
I mean, you have also mentioned that there are so many ways to kill Titanic Shell actually, right? You have Goliath of the Night, you have Jadehawk, you have Caldera Ravager to kill it. So, I mean, the moment you see the bot it has a Titanic Shell, you better have enough. You better have at least one attacker or one of the escorts being the stronger units to take them out, right? If not, then I think just take the loss and go to the next round, I guess. Right. All right. Let's see. Actually, this week I really want to talk about some of the current meta. Right. This league is very weird. For the economy wise, I haven't depth too much into the economy, but I've been looking at prices of some things that I used to buy cheap. Um, just for context, I am still trying to build my Ethereal Nice Inquisitor. The problem is, right, most of my gears are very expensive if I compare it to last league. I need a melding of the flesh, and for the same stats that I bought last league, minus 70 or 71 all rest melding with minus 4 max rest was close to about 2 to 3 leaf. This league, I have to settle for a minus 73, minus 4 max rest for 4 leaf. So it seems like there are many things this league that cost much more divines, and I don't know if this is depreciating value of divines because either the league mechanic or Sanctum is printing too much.
But that's a bit hard to say, since looking at PoE Ninja, right, the current price of a divine is 230 chaos. So I'm not sure how to think about that.
Sanctum also prints a lot of chaos. So what I think is that because the only thing that changed from last league to this league is that Sanctum became core, and we have the new league, right? So as of now, the league rewards was only buffed maybe 1 week ago, 1 week or 2 weeks ago, right? And I don't think Tota's introduction shouldn't affect divine prices that much, but it seems like Sanctum is the one that is ruining the value of divine. People finding too many, and most of the expensive stuff now don't really cost as much as they should, I think. Yep.
Well, I think it kind of makes sense if you think about the prices that people are willing to pay for Sanctum locks. I heard there's somebody who bought Sanctum eye level 83 Sanctum lock for one divine from
One for one divine?
for one of our guildmates.
That's crazy, man. I thought they were going for like 6 for 1 div or something. But okay, that's good to know. Yeah, the other day I was looking at the apothecary also. How is apothecary 60 plus div? From the past few leagues that I have been playing PoE and the leagues where I've actually bought out the apothecaries for the mage blood, they were always hovering around maybe late 40s to about 50 div per card. But this league, I think most of the apothecaries are transacting around 65 div. I don't know what's going on. Is people actually wanting mage blood more, or the value of divine just tanked? Any insights?
Probably it's just the divine prices are tanking because this league is really this is the only league that I have earned so much currency through Tota alone that if I'm earning that much currency, I guess everyone else is also earning that much currency.
I think your case might be an outlier, right? Because previously you have told us that you found 3 additional proch tattoo, right? And of course, I'll let you talk about what you found just last week, right? I don't want to spoil the listeners about what you found, but maybe you can tell us. And I believe your case is a very high case of skewed data. We cannot actually take what you found from Dota as the normal PoE experience.
Okay. So in total, I think I've gotten 5+1 projects and 1 Hinekora lock. So yeah, then and 1 apothecary. So I've gotten like the 4 fine divine rewards a couple of times as well. Yep. Nothing too special. Like the rewards from Tota don't give you like synthesis item or odd quality gems, all this. I think you still need to farm the respective content to get those items. Yeah. I can say that there are a lot of rare 6 links. I haven't seen any unique 6 links yet.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I think having to find a Hinekora lock is already crazy. I think you are the first one that I know found a Hinekora lock. Our guild, there was another guy who also found the Hinekora lock as well. I think a few of them was also flipping Hinekora's lock because the supply is so low. Basically, people can just buy this up and just wait until like, I don't know if you guys have realized, but if we buy things at night and we sell it in the morning for us, typically we can earn like maybe 3 to 4 diff just after we wake up. So somehow for us, for our market, it seems to be like if we are buying at night and we sell in the morning, that's just how we can get some leverage there also. Maybe it's because the players from EU and US, they wake up to buy more, whereas the Southeast Asia players, they are selling cheaper during our playtime.
Yeah, looking at the current Hinekora lock prices is at 47, 48 diff. Like on the day I got it, it was about 43 if I'm not wrong. But then it went, I think, all the way down to like 35, 36 diff. That's when I sold mine. Then it seems like now it's back up again. I'm not too sure why.
I mean, Hinekora lock is the premium currency for people who are min-maxing because basically they are going to get their crafted rares, the crazy ones, and they will be testing it with the double Karabalta just to hit the best. Plus 4 gems, plus 2 gems, plus 1 max res kind of combination, right? So I don't know if this currency will go core. I think Hinekora lock is actually a very good crafting currency. And I don't mind it being gated behind a high Dota ranking, which will insinuate that Dota is going core, right? What are your thoughts about Dota going core?
I'm not sure what am I gonna do next league if there's no Tota, you know. I've just been enjoying myself with the league mechanic.
So how about bias? Do you think Dota will go core, and what will you do if it happens to go core?
I think Dota has a chance of going core, like Heist, but it won't go core next league, I think. Right? Because even Sanctum took one league rest before going core. Um, I think I'm not sure about tattoos, honestly speaking. I think tattoos are really powerful. We are starting to see the very budget methods of making use of tattoos, like doing the Nightmares, Warrior's Tale. Uh, but it's definitely not as powerful as Crucible. So there's actually a chance that tattoos might make it back in the game in the future. Yeah. So after saying all that, I give it like a 70% chance in my goal call. And it's very well received, honestly speaking, other than the Titanic shells. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm on a bit on both sides. I actually think that tattoo is a very big game changer. It actually lets people think of how to reroute their skill tree. Maybe get a few more attribute points so that they can replace it with tattoos. Um, I hope that Dota goes core because I really like the concept of tattoos. But the auto battler thing definitely has to. There needs to be some improvement there because from what I hear, that they have introduced the forfeit button, but it doesn't actually come out until your character totem has died. So I don't really know why that is. I think the forfeit button should have been there, even if your character is alive, but you are just waiting there for like 30 minutes for the match to end. I think that doesn't make sense, right? People who have been in that situation would just log out anyway because nobody's waiting 30 minutes just for a match to be done. People would rather just log out and play a match. I think that's better. So definitely can see GG taking the league out for one league to make improvements, and I hope that Tattoo actually goes core next league because I have so much plans to make skill builds with the Tattoo being a thing. Because now you see the tree differently. Because can you tell me how many 7 adjacent slots do you see on the tree? I never gave that a thought until I saw tattoos, man.
Well, you're right. But Reddit already listed out all the 7 possible nodes, yeah, for Makangas. Also, I think tattoos are great, but the league has only just started, guys. Why are we talking as though the next league is gonna come soon?
I mean, we are pushing 3 weeks in. To be honest, I feel like I'm already farming for my last 14 challenges. Actually, I think I have 10 challenges that just requires that bit of effort to finish. But yeah, I'm actually closing to 40-40, and to be honest, I think I'll just play the league for another 2 weeks max. And in these 2 weeks, I will try to play all the builds that I have previously mentioned, which up till now I haven't even got one started yet because of real life, right? Um, I'm still sniping the items. The items are already available. It's just that some of these sellers they are not online when I play the game. So I'm still looking around, looking for cheap gear to buy them and use. And yeah, who knows? I will be building one character just for Dota so that I can do the 2K climb as well. I think I want to see what I can get from there. And I think as a alternative end game, Dota is great for that. So that people are not just pigeonholed into Heist, Delve, or any other alternatives.
Yeah, and like for Tota, right? Like uh, like people are complaining that they have like some very tanky characters that you can tank whatever shaper ball, shaper slams, and they are getting one shot in the total mechanic. Uh, it's like you have to choose you have to make your build suitable for the content itself. Currently, it's not like you're running map halfway and then you see a Titanic shell protecting the boss mob and then you cannot kill it, right? So I really not sure what people is complaining about.
No, I think that there's a lot of echo chamber, something that GG fucks up and then they like to echo it. Hey, you know that they just recently fuck this up. You know what? I think we should talk about this on Reddit, and then they'll just recruit more and more people to talk about this just one bad thing that they have done recently. I'm not shilling for GG because I obviously do talk about when GG actually fucks up. It's just that I think people haven't found the way, the mentality to even do Dota as a content. To me, it's very straightforward. You want to play Dota, just make a Dota build, right? And it's spelled so clearly. Get a Widow Hill, get a rear guard, make sure you get every of your avoidance mechanic up in the game. And just for context, what are some of the avoidance tech we can get? There's spell dodge, there's dodge. There's no more dodge. Spell dodge, block. Basically, everything that can let you not take a hit. Just take those defenses, run Void Sphere with Ensnaring Arrow. You should be good in Dota. You will die every now and then, but let's be honest, you don't actually lose EXP in Dota, so I don't see people should stop bitching about the whole I can't kill Titanic Shell. It's fine, right? Just play around it. It's a tactics game. It's not a DPS game. Yeah, then there was another camp. I was talking to this with another guildmate. He was saying like how Dota sucks because you can't use gear to overpower. But I thought that was the whole idea about this game mode was not for you to care about gear. Because if everything can win with gear, people would just RMT the gear. People would just get the best gear and then clear the content, and the content wouldn't be fun, right? That's how I see it. But apparently there's another big camp of players that say that their gear should matter. Yeah, their gear matters for the content that they do, but Dota is just not that content for them to do. So I don't see the reason why they are talking about that. Yeah.
Like you build specific character to cheese bosses, right? Like the ice trap build to cheese your Eaters of War, Searing Exarch, right? And then you specifically build for like deep delve characters. Like if you build something for deep delve, you don't expect it to run normal contents, right? So isn't it the same for Dota? You specifically build Void Sphere, Ensnaring Arrow for Dota. And then of course this build can't even map normally, right? Like maybe you can do Aqueducts, I guess. Right?
Yeah, so I think people are slowly realizing that they need to use a new build. But some PoE players, they are so lazy. They don't want to go and learn how to play a new build. I just want to play my maps, and at my free time, I also want to use this build to play Dota. That's what they want. So yeah, it's just a case of misalignment of interest. Some people want to do everything with one build. Some people like to create builds for one particular content. And I think that's how GG wants us to play as well. Right? Okay, I think this topic we should stop already because it's just revolving around us talking about the same thing. Yeah, any interesting texts that you found recently, or do you watch any streamers talk about any new tech with the current tattoos or current new uniques? Any opinions here?
So, Matthew, the sexiest man in Path of Exile, uh, made a face breaker build with Chieftain, which is not exactly what I wanted to do, but both were concepts which I was thinking about before. So with the I think face breaker goes up to 800% now. It used to go higher, legacy ones. Uh, with so each of the tattoos is worth 2.5 physical damage. With face breakers, each of them will be worth like 8 times 2.5. And then you have a warrior's tail, and you can double that. Yeah. I think it's only worth it for face breakers. I ran the numbers for Doomfletch. So Doomfletch is one of those things that's also scales with physical. So each tattoo will be worth, with Doomfletch, each tattoo will be worth 20 damage, 5 physical damage and 15 elemental damage. You will need 30 warrior tail tattoos in order to match a 1.4k DPS elemental or random bow. Yeah. So I think only face breakers actually has the multipliers for you to be worth it. Another problem with face breakers, it takes up an amulet slot, Rigward's Claw.
I mean, the sad thing is you can only have one warrior's tail in your whole tree. Yep.
Oh, okay. So talking about new type, this is not exactly new, but I think recently a lot of streamers like to talk about Utula's Hunger, which is a chest that I think we briefly talked about maybe 1 or 2 podcasts back. Utula's Hunger is a very cool, unique, because it basically says that all your other gear shouldn't have any life modifiers, and then you can use this chest to give you a huge amount of life, like maybe like what it rolls from 600 to 1000, right? So the roll range is very big. And what this means is that it can actually you can actually use very scuff gear. By scuff is we are saying that you don't have any life modifiers on your rings, your helm, your boots, your amulet. Basically anything on your character's body cannot have life, and then you'll get this huge chunk of life. I think eventually it should even out if you have all T1 in all your gear slot. If you have everything for gear T1 HP, it should balance out Utula's Hunger. Okay. As to why I think this is the best use of Utula's Hunger, the way I see it, is if you are playing a hybrid build, because this chest gives you all the life you need, and if all your other gears are ES based, it means that your build can play a hybrid build very well. You have both ES gear and you have a life gear that is very big on armor as well, and also very big on HP. So I think this is the best use case should be that, but I think most of the streamers are pigeonholing into just, I can use scuff here and play. Yeah.
There's one weakness with Utula's Hunger. Because a lot of uniques actually have life baked into them. So you actually have to make sure that if you want to use any uniques in your build, you have to make sure that it's a unique that doesn't have life.
I can already tell you a few that can abuse this mechanic. Okay. The strongest helm in the game right now is Heat Shiver. Heat Shiver has no life. If you are playing conversion with Heat Shiver, you can also use Hume Sorrow, no life as well. If you are playing a bow build, you know what are the rings that you want to use? The Taming. It has no life at all. So there is and if you want to play Magic Find, I mean, if you are willing to drop the golden chest, the corn chest, you can go Ventus without life. I think that's very cheap as well, right? So no, but Ventus can roll 0 life, right? Yeah. If it doesn't have the life modifier, I think it doesn't affect. I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure about this, but maybe later down this week we can try if any of us are planning around a build using Utulas, right? It's a cool chest that I've been looking at it. It's just that recently a lot of streamers are picking them up, so I'm not sure if the price of these items will surge up because of this, right? Any other cool uniques you all want to talk about, or any text that is new? I think previously we talked about the tattoos plus unnatural instinct. There was another one that I saw, Pox, which is the RF guy. He used Avatar of Fire Impossible Escape. Apparently, the Impossible Escape at the Avatar of Fire can give you one of the big notable, the dex notable on top, and you can also use it to take magmatic strikes. So that is a very cool Impossible Escape for RF players. I think you really have to look at keystones that are next to the big ones. Like you can even look at elemental equilibrium, right? Elemental overload, right? The radius around elemental overload should let you hit some interesting notes like the curse notes, the red notes, the ES notes, and lastly, if you are playing a strength gem or a dex spell, you can hit those with the impossible escape. So I think people can start to look at how some impossible escape might be underpriced currently because nobody is using them. And eventually, if you manage to use this, um, I think the way to go around this league is actually to plan your build around tattoos. I think tattoos are very cool, right? Okay. Let's see. Any other text that you guys have learned?
Not really. I'm just doing Dota and watching anime at the side.
Okay, then we might as well segue to what are we doing for the upcoming stuff, right? Any upcoming builds you all playing? Maybe we can start with Bias.
Well, I think I shared quite a bit of it at the start of the podcast. So my next upcoming build will be the Holy Relic Guardian. I'm thinking of either using Herald of Purity or Dominating Blow together with it. Or if both of them aren't very good, then I might just use SRS.
Does Holy Relic actually procs off your spell usage, or is it purely from attacks?
Sadly, purely from attacks. Or else I would have used it with a lot of other stuff.
I see, because the way I see it, if I want to play anything related to Dominating Blow, I will normally choose to play Absolution. Absolution is just a better form of Dom Blow for me, right? Because both of them have the Vow version, and it seems to me that Vow Absolution is much better than the Vow Dom Blow.
But melee has a buff this time. Melee strike. Melee strike tattoos. I'm not sure how good they are though.
Okay. Any build ideas from you, Joseph? Any builds that you are planning to do? I mean, you're playing your Tota build, but any plans to use the currency to play another build?
Yeah, let me farm out my Mage Blood first. And then I'm looking at the something close to Matthew's build, the one with the face breakers. But I also want to include the Eternal Apple with the Akoye's mask. So the lead should be instant. Yep. Probably I still have to find some way to proc self damage so that I can gain enduring charges to proc the Eternal's Apple. Then with that, maybe I will use Volcanic Fissure. I guess. Yeah.
Oh, would Trauma or Bone Shatter work to proc the damage?
I think I'm not too sure, but I mean, because does trauma give you attack speed stacks? Then I what if the attack speed is too fast? Maybe it cannot keep up with your exerted attacks cost. I think you only gain 1 endurance charge per second. So you'll only proc 1 Warcry per second. Yep.
So you are trying to build around a meaty big hit and you instant leech back, but this build cannot be fast.
Yeah, cannot be too fast. I haven't went to look into the Warcry's number of exerted attacks. Some are 6. Yeah. So
You also need to be careful with the maximum total recovery of life. Because of the changes to leech, let's say you dealt enough damage to leech 100% of your HP, you probably won't. You probably only leech like 20% or 10%. I can't remember the numbers for it right now.
I mean, the reason I'm using volcanic fissure is because I'm guessing like the projectiles are like individual hits, so there's like at least some form of continuous leech there from one attack instead of just one big slam like Conspath.
Okay, very interesting build because never would I thought of using a Mage Blood to play an exerted build. So I don't really know what's going on there. But okay. I mean, if I was playing Mage Blood, a Mage Blood build, I would probably just play a Zoom, fast clearer, or maybe a bosser that can do generic content. Yep. As for my own, still gearing up my Inquisitor, but I am planning to do a Ranger for Tota, and this Ranger will eventually become my Pathfinder to play Hexblast Mines. And I'm also creating, I've got the gear already. I've splurged, man. I've splurged 6D on this Widow Hill, 250%, right? And I also bought the Saka Wheels chest because I'm intending to play Curtains Call Burning Arrow Miner, right? It's a stat stacking build. So I don't expect this last Inquisitor to be cheap, but I'm definitely playing this right after my Tota character has been geared. So I think those 3 characters should make me play the league for another 2 to 3 weeks, assuming I don't have too much obligations in real life. But as of now, it seems like the past few weeks has been quite busy, so I can't really play much of PoE actually. If not by now, I would have completed my challenge and actually enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I mean, my build is just a concept that I'm thinking about. I still also want to finish my challenges, so the concept build is secondary. I think finishing my challenges are more important. Yep.
But the problem is you're going to Tokyo next week, so I don't see how you're playing the game. I don't know, man, what's going on. But okay. Yeah, Bias, what's up?
I can't believe you guys play the game for challenges. I only play the game to make lousy builds and give up on them halfway.
I mean, homebrew builds are actually the best because you actually research on how to actually play the game the way you want it. I believe the other day I shared my calculations for sustaining the Trader Keystone. It was just a very simple math formula where we calculate the flask charge gain and flask duration to sustain a 20 charge use flask, and the coefficient came out to be about 2.44 if you if you multiply the flask charge gain and the flask effect duration ratio. So 2.44 is actually not hard. So basically what you need to get is flask charge gain should be 1 point, that means 56% increase, whereas the flask effect duration is about 57 as well. So it's quite balanced. So if you get both of these stats to 56 and 57, you should sustain all flasks that requires 20 charges use that can last for a duration of 10 seconds. So this is what this why these specific numbers is because I was calculating to sustain Taste of Hate. Taste of Hate is a unique flask these days that is very strong for defensively and both offensively as well. So I was trying to plan around that, and in general, I just use this number as a guiding for how much I want to roll my flask, because recently I've been doing a lot of Katarina, and I've put Hillock in my research to get the 28% flask craft effect. So I've been researching how much flask charges do I need, how long do I need them to be, just to play a very budget mage blood, basically a fake blood build, right? Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very good time to talk about our farming strategies, right? I've shared a bit on what I'm farming these days. I've been doing Katarina. So I don't think it's the best way to earn money, but I've been interacting with I've been trying to sell my Ashling craft to the TFT guys. So they have been just coming in to buy my craft for 2 to 3 leaf every other Katarina that I do lah. So that's just my way of farming money these days. I don't think it's the best, but it gives me every 20 minutes I should get about 1 Katarina, so I can get like 2 to 3 leaf per 20 minutes. So to me that's quite fast already, regarding seeing how much I can play per day. So yeah, it's not bad. What are some of your farming strategies that you are looking into?
Before the Tota nonsense, I was trying to run the expedition with the new keystone. So that was quite interesting. Then I was selling a few log books. I wasn't running them myself. Yep. Then I don't really have any comments for that, because after that was just Tota all the way.
Well, I had a bunch of different problems. So my chieftain was really quite hard to kill, but I couldn't figure out how to pack DPS into it. I tried the corrupting cry one. I think I'm misunderstanding something, honestly. I think it's my problem. So I couldn't get that much damage out of it. So I looked into different versions of 0 DPS ways of making money. Heist, I really think heist is possible if you can stomach a slower movement speed. But the problem is trying to figure out how to make money from heist from the videos that we have recently right now is horrible. Like I've been listening to like 3 streamers different life stories, and like I still have no idea how to make money off heist. So running some of the contracts are okay, but not that good. Another one that works is Blight. Blighted maps, if you use triple amber oils, you actually don't need to do any damage. And the tankiness is quite nice because I'm not sure how many of you guys still play heist, but ever since Blight, I mean, yeah, Blight. But ever since the Arch Nemesis update, there will be random rares that will have like purple poison balls going after you even though you're AFKing near the pump, and you actually have to move. So the chieftain is almost effectively immortal. Definitely won't survive Dota. I would need something anti-bleed. But enough of that. So with that, I can actually watch anime and do Blight. But Blight Ravage maps, don't listen to what they tell you. I don't care what YouTuber you listen to. Blight Ravage maps, you actually need to do damage. Don't listen to those people lying. I blew up 2 Blight Ravage maps because I trusted them. I did like triple amber oils and like triple damage tower oil oils. Then and like I put triple crimson because I thought that would be enough. No. Yeah, you actually need to do damage in Blight Ravage maps. Don't trust the YouTubers. That's basically it from me, I think.
Okay, so as a very path. Maybe I'm wash up, but I used to do highs a lot, and I actually think highs. There's a very degen way to play highs, and I don't mind sharing it. Maybe along the way we can also teach people how to run highs, right? So what you do with highs is you actually run either a pathfinder or a raider. That's the best, right? Gear it up with basically make sure your character has perma phasing. Use the Voto. So basically, go Queen of the Forest. Basically, just do speed runs. Okay, what you want to do with this character is, you want to use Ichimonji, the one that has buff effect. Make sure you have onslaught as well. I believe there was a synthesis shield with movement speed, the lightning one. I forget the name already, but it was a synthesized. It was a drop from the synthesis bosses. Just kill them, you should be able to find one. Get the one with the max movement speed rule. Basically, deck out your character in movement speed. You don't need damage, you only need speed. And if you will, you can also put in some minions to help you tank the damage. So you basically mid shield a few of the minions, zombie. You want permanent minions to follow you around. So what they do with those highs builds, right? They basically go in, they run to the end, take the rewards, take whatever rewards that they want. They go out. They don't do anything else. And for those characters, when they're running grand highs, if they are the only grand highs that is worth running right now, I believe, is the unusual gems. So basically the odd quality gems. But there are also a few people running the trinkets for the tailoring orb and the tempering orb. Those are expensive because first, people who are buying them are the big crafters, and then the supply is not many. That's why the price is always going to climb. The moment the league starts, the orb starts out very cheap, but eventually it climbs to like maybe 70 each pop. So yeah, people may run that just for the orb. But I like to run replica rooms just to see what kind of replica units I can get, right? And the gem rooms. So what this build does, right? It will go into the hive, go to the awards, go to the last room. If the rewards are bad, they don't even pick anything. They just go out. So they don't trigger anything. So this is the really degen way to play heist, but I believe it's one of the most effective way because you run so fast.
I agree that that's one of the most effective ways to play heist. But my problem is even more basic. Like, what contracts do I run? How do I gear up my rooms? And like, how do I even make money? Like, I literally can't die, so I can take a nice stroll while bathing in acid through the heist places.
Okay, so I think I can just keep on talking about highs. Like in general, you should run the deception contract because on the way out you don't need to click any doors, right? If not, as for hive gear, I think that deserves another time during the podcast where we deep dive into how to do hives. But in general, you want to get a +1 to all job for your Gianna, so that she is able to also run not only deception contract, you can also run counter thaumaturgy level 4, and you can also run another. Gianna has three contract types that she can do. So basically, you want a +1 all, so that she can run the higher tiers of all three other jobs, right? Why you want Gianna is because she gives you the 30% discount for your blueprint whenever you uncover the wings. So in general, I think for anyone starting out highs, they want to enjoy highs, you should play deception contract, use Gianna for your rogue. That's the key thing. And if you are worried about highs gear, just get a generic 1+1 to all jobs for Gianna. That will be okay. If you are min-maxing, I think if there's any demand for us to talk about that, then maybe we can make a section for it. All right, then my current farming strategy, like I say, was Katarina, right? I'm looking to doing Elk and Gold soon once I get my character up. I'm still looking to see if I want to do Delirium orb farming. I think that daily orb farming has always been a very cool way to play the game, because you basically, every map will take about 10 to 15 minutes. It's a very long map, but every map, I remember doing this for last league. Every map gives my character about 8%. 8% at 99 was big deal, because I basically only need 10 maps to get to 100, right? 10 to 12 maps to get to 100. So, and the fact that this league we have the Omen to protect our EXP loss, I think getting the 100 shouldn't be a problem this league. You can do it on your own pace, or you can just, as usual, pay people to let them run 5-way Legion for you, right? So I think I'll be doing that. I should be doing L and Go for the exact, because I believe the key was going for 1.1 div. So I don't get why people are not doing more Searing Exile just to sell the key, right? If you need money, you can sell the key. If you are gambling for big drops, you can get a big amount of keys and build a power charge trapper to kill it instantly, right? So yeah, and I believe there's a lot of value behind the Forbidden Flames this league, because I never remembered Searing Exile keys being 1.1 div. So I think it's balanced around that. There may be some very expensive flames going around, so we can take a look at that. Yeah. So, but I'm definitely not making a boss killer this league. I don't think I want to. I should, for the next 1 or 2 weeks, other than my characters, I want to just enjoy Tota that Joseph has been enjoying. I also want to get my own apothecary. Better if Tota rewards me a Mage Blood straight up. That will make me very happy. Okay.
All right. I was thinking of looking into duo or like very simple party play stuff. It seems that the ghost touch thing is more complicated than I thought. Just cause your character is immortal doesn't mean it immediately works. So just in case for anybody who is thinking about it, it's slightly more complicated.
I mean, we can definitely research on how do people do ghost busting, right? And if there is enough interest, or maybe if we try out and we see that the loot is really an improvement from just both of us solo playing, then we can definitely do a talk about this. Yep.
By the way, right, from what little I tested, at least the one that I use, which is Wandering Path, the loot that drops seems to be a huge difference, whether it's touched or not. But I just couldn't get a easy method to touch every single mob in the map, etc. I'm not sure what kind of plan I will require for that.
I think in general nowadays, if you want to speed run through all the monsters, you definitely want a character, probably a ranger, that has phasing. Then basically, if you want to gear it up with a main mage blood, sure. So you basically touch the ghost, right? The ghost will possess you, and then you run through the whole map and possess every monster that you possibly can run through. And that requires a very fast and tanky character, which I think is very hard to build.
Yeah, but it can be ZDPS. Another thing is that Cyclone already gives you phasing. So you actually don't really need phasing. And with the new weapon range ones, you can actually have a full screen Cyclone, like what one of the YouTubers already did it. So I know it's possible. But you really need a character dedicated to it. You can't just like slap a tanky character and like just go.
So am I right to say that if the ghost possess you, so you can use Cyclone to touch them?
No. I meant it more like you have to actually physically touch them. So what you would use is Empire's Grasp with the reverse knockback.
I see. So okay, then I guess you have. I mean, if you are doing this solo, I guess. I mean, you have 6 portals, right? So you're gonna log in the first character to touch everyone, log out, then log in your Okay, the second character to cow everything.
I'm not sure how long the touch lasts, but if it touch lasts forever, I heard some guy on Reddit actually does that. I don't trust Reddit though. Those Redditors got nothing better to do with their time.
I mean, we can explore lah, but it seems like the current strat now doesn't seem feasible for just two men, right? Because if one guy is running past every mob, then does the other guy become the color?
So what I was planning, right? If you have one guy touching everything and then putting everything together, and all you need is another guy who can kill, right? So he can be full DPS with a little bit of MF. Yeah. The best would be a tree, so you can have one DPS and one color. But I think that's way too much work already. I think having the DPS be the color might be the easiest way.
Okay. I think this play style definitely very foreign to us because the moment we talk about duo, we already see eyebrows going up triple. I don't think we are actually playing that. So no, because it's very hard for us to actually match everybody's timetable or schedule to even play the game together and at the same time at the same tandem, right? It doesn't make sense for us unless you know what we just get down, crack a cold one, and we all play the same kind of content together. But I don't think that will happen until maybe the next leg start. But who knows?
To be fair, right, we're already sitting here recording a podcast, not even playing Path of Exile, bro.
But sitting down to talk about PoE is very different from actually playing PoE because I may have my own bias on how I want to play PoE, right? Joseph has his own ways of playing PoE. You have your own ways of playing PoE. So it's definitely very different from it's very, very difficult for us to coordinate a common setting just to play PoE. Yeah.
Right. I actually thought of that. So, I mean, that's why I was hoping the ghost thing will work. Because all you need is one person who is willing to set up the maps and set up the character to do the ghost touch. Then anybody who joins this person, he could be any DPS. The difference between this and an aura bot is that not every DPS character can make use of very strong auras. But in this case, right, all you need is some guy to kill everything.
I mean, we definitely have to research that because what we have seen people do with the ghost busting is basically we are we, I now I must admit that I only know of the Empyrean group doing the whole ghost busting thing, but they are 6-man group, right, and they are dedicated to do that kind of content. So I'm not sure how does a smaller group actually plays ghost busting, but something that we can try out. I've never liked tormented spirits, to be honest, so for most of the time I would either just avoid them or I kill them before they even got a chance to possess any monster.
Hello. Right. So I have followed a few YouTubers about this tormented spirit thing. It seems that it's quite hard to kill off screen now because of the damage reduction. So, and with the hat, which I think was mentioned before, it's actually a huge buff to your mapping speed, even if you're solo. With Wandering Path, right, all it takes is around 8, I think, around 8 Atlas passives of Torment only, and you get mostly maximum effect.
I believe you're talking about the Fair Grace Tycoon, right? Maybe we can pull that out and see the stats of the head, like what's going on. Why are people using that helm? It boosts the con of the ghosted monsters or what? Oh, okay. So you cannot be shocked, but you can be touched by a torment. So this is the only way that people are doing ghost busting.
Uh, the Atlas passive also lets you get possessed. So, but the thing is, this stacks. So you get the Tricorn as well as the Atlas passives. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is new because I've always vended the helm. Never a fan of tormented spirits, but I think after this podcast we can definitely we can actually just go and try. And fun fact, Fairgrace Tricone actually enables fishing rod to drop. I don't know how many of us are in the exclusive club of fishing, but I did have a fishing talisman I think 2 or 3 weeks ago when it dropped from a random incubator. I don't know why I have the incubator, but definitely, but that was a very big surprise. I was like, huh? How come there was a implicit that drops bait? Then I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I am just not going to play this amulet because I just stashed the amulet somewhere in my dump tab. Yeah.
On the topic of incubators, right? I'm not sure if you can actually make a profit incubating incubators. Probably will have to ask the other two guys about that. But if you can, right, you can AFK blight and incubate incubators at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I did a Legion strat last league for Magic Find as well. Where I actually found a Headhunter raw drop, so that was actually cool. Legion with incubators is cool because you technically over sustain the incubators, but I found that after opening so many incubators, the only incubators that are actually worth anything is actually the Onyx, which is the currency one, and the divination incubators. Those two are the things that you really only want to incubate. All the others, you can actually just hide with filter. It's really not much. Yeah, apparently there is 2 tiers. The Ornate is the very common currency incubator. There's another one higher that I think guarantees a better currency drop. But I do get quite regular divines from the Ornate incubators, like maybe 1 divine per 30 rounds. So three repetitions of full Ornate should give you 1 divine. So it's rather common, and it doesn't take too long to kill because you only need to kill like 4,000 monsters, and that's very easy. Yeah. So if you're looking into Legion, I think there's a lot of Legion guides like around on YouTube as well. You can go and check out Grimro. I think Grimro has been doing Legion for the past 10 leagues or something, so you can always check him out. Then I think currently there is so many strats in the game that I think you can enjoy. You can just pick the content that you like to do and just play any content that you want, right? Some people like Legion, some people like Breach, some people like to do Delirium. Like they can be sitting in Simulacrum for the whole day, right? And they just farm Simulacrum, right? I mean, Simulacrum to me is like Dota as well. Once you're in Simulacrum jail, you're there forever. You can't die, and you will just keep getting rewards. You are fishing for the big 1 point voices. You are farming for some of the split personalities, especially the ones that what Matthew has been using the strength in. Right, strength has always been expensive. So yeah, definitely can see people playing more PoE with for this league because the Atlas is very good for the current game.
Or just to sidetrack to builds that I want to play. I'm thinking of accuracy stacking with the tattoos. The tattoos give 6% accuracy for Dex Note. Yeah. I mean I don't remember how much accuracy does a 10 Dex Note give. So I'm not sure if that 6% is better. Yep, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so it's like one dex gives you 2 accuracy, and then so it's 20 accuracy per node, compared to 6%. I guess we have to do the maths and try it out.
I think accuracy stacking has always been one of the strongest build in the game. It's just that you have to decide on how you want to deliver the damage. Do you want to do it through claws, which is the last resort, the replica last resort way, or do you want to do the bow? The bow is the more expensive way. And I believe recently, I think MBX stream, he did an accuracy stacker. So, I mean, you can always look into his build, but I will just pre-warn you that the accuracy stacking has always been expensive. It's not a cheap build. And the way that I see how people stack flat accuracy is they will use the Temple Jewel, the green one. They'll put it near Scion because there's a lot of dex nodes there that you don't actually take. So you will get a lot of dex, a lot of flat accuracy there, but at the same time you're losing movement speed. So if you are playing the last resort method, it doesn't matter because you're whirling blades around. But if you are playing the bow, it feels very bad to play. So I'm not sure if you're on board for that. Yeah, but we definitely have to see, right? 20 flat accuracy versus a 6%. I believe that if you have enough flat, the percent should be a bigger multiplier. But you definitely have to find a balance somewhere. Yeah, and then who knows? You don't exactly change one dex node to 6%. You actually want to abuse with warrior tails, right? So the 10% dex is actually 12% accuracy, right? So I mean, if you're looking into that, yeah, I think accuracy stacking is a very rewarding build because the ceiling of the build is so high, and you can start budget with last resort. Because replica last resort is actually a very cheap unit from Hive. Yeah, it really depends on how many people are actually taking the reward out. Because to be honest, most of the replica units are so bad. They are unique in a way, but whenever you go in the room and you don't see the big prizes, some people might just leave the room. Yeah.
Actually, right, since we were talking about divination prices before, and we were talking about money making, I think part of the reason might be because of the new divination card for divine ops.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. So I think people who are farming Legion and Bridge in Dunes definitely will be finding a lot of the fortunate card. I myself, I am 1.5 set in, so I've redeemed 1 set of the fortunate already. But I don't feel like this card has made me any richer, to be honest. So I'm not sure if this is the reason why divination divine ops are actually reducing in price actually. But yeah, I think we should go on. We are trying out to see if people are interested in this section. This is a new section. We actually asked around 3 of us. We will each give opinions about the current state of the game, right? Maybe I can start first. So I believe that the current PoE focus too much on, or at least the soft core traits focus on too much on defense. What do you guys think?
I guess this is just how GGG balance the game. Like, if we don't focus on defense and then we will everything into offense, then in the end everybody will be cheesing the bosses. And then to GGG can only think of so much ways to counter cheesing bosses. So I guess but then the thing is, currently there's so much defenses that we have to cap. We have to cap resist, we have to cap suppress, we have to cap elemental avoidance. What was there still we have to cap? A bit too many things to cap. Then some characters, I mean, if you try to cap all this and then in the end you got no damage, so you can't do anything. So it's like, I mean, you have to find a sweet spot between the defenses and offense.
Is this also the reason why people don't dare to make builds? Because you have so many things to take care of. Like, I remember playing PoE back in Harbinger League. That means the I think GG call it the pre the stage 1 of PoE. Like they were mentioning like 3.5 onwards was like the 2, and then eventually now it's like the stage 4 or 5, right? Back then the defenses was just cap res, 75 res, and block is actually a luxury set. Like, I think it's still luxury now. A lot of the defenses that were available now was not available back then, and I don't believe I had a worse time back in the days. I believe that in the past I was still making builds, and it was also quite enjoyable, and my character do die from death that I don't know every now and then, but it seems like last time it was easier to make builds, and currently when I'm making builds these days, I have to look at the tree to see if I'm on the right side or the left side, right? On the right side, suppress is not a problem, right? Resist shouldn't be a problem. In fact, the right side of the tree is so so giving for stats like suppress and resist and power in general. It doesn't make sense that the left side has to suffer so much, because as a person who likes to lick start the Templar class, I'm actually suffering from the lack of suppression, and in general, I feel that spell suppression is a stat that GG forced onto us. I don't think it should be a thing. I think spell suppression should actually be be combined together with spell block. I don't think these two stats should be separate. I don't know, man. I just feel like the defenses these days are a bit overkill, and the problem is that if you don't go overkill with the defense, you either die a lot or you just don't do damage. So I don't like where this is going. People but I see like the people who are playing the game recently, it's like damage is enough. No way, bro. If you try to play a non-meta ascendancy, non-meta skill, you try to build for defenses, let's see how much damage you can do. It's very difficult actually, and I believe that a buff for some of these skills should come soon, because it has been 4 leagues before we see any numbers change for the better for most skills. We don't talk about the meta skills that people are playing right now. Meta skills are here because the damage numbers make sense, right?
Well, I think one of the nice things is that you can scale a lot with items now. So damage scales very high, defenses scale very high. But I agree with you, especially since I only play meme builds and I only play a league start before this league. That building your own build is near impossible. I think for me the largest difference was Arch Nemesis. The Arch Nemesis league itself was great. But once Arch Nemesis went core, right, it instantly killed almost every build that was a meta. You didn't do enough damage to go through anything, and you didn't have enough defenses to defend from everything.
Yeah, till now, whenever I'm playing a creep build, I actually hate to see when my essence mod or my red beast, whenever they have the creep resistant arch nemesis modifier, I feel like just opening a portal scroll and go up, because it just takes too long. Why would a monster need that? And the next train of thought would be, would they give you a stat to counter that? They didn't. But I cannot possibly make my creep build a non-creep build just for this monster. It doesn't make sense, right? And then there's the what? If you are a ignite build, you are a poison build, you meet a monster that has resist ignite, resist fire, resist chaos, resist rebidder. It's like it doesn't make sense to me, lah, right? Okay. Any opinions from Joseph? I think mine is about done already. I've been ranting about this, and I believe softcore should just be softcore. Let us build powerful builds with enough defenses. I think currently the defenses are overboard.
And like coming from me, before playing PoE, I was playing D3. Then I like how their unique item works, right? Like their unique item literally changes your skill, right? Like I mean in Path of Exile term is more of like you can support your skills with different support gem. But who actually does that? Right? You need all the damage links that you can have. Then like you need like I mean they tried to do this through Crucible 3, the last league, where your skills really change into a different skill. But I really hope to see more of this on our unique items. Unique item that actually matters, not like just give you some one line of different stats that doesn't really change much. And like I mean D3 is really a bit too much where like almost all of your equipment have skill modifying tag, right? I mean for Puritan maybe you can have one significant how should I put it? One unique that significantly changes how the skill is being played. That would be nice to see. I mean, this comes with the talk about defense, right? I mean, if you need to fill up your equipment with these unique items, then where are you gonna get defense? Yep.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that thought, because I remember when we were in ExileCon, I believe Chris or one of the devs was talking about how some of these Crucible mods are actually coming back this league, but I have not seen them come back. I was actually very hyped on wanting to play some Eye of Winter Poison. I also wanted to play Freezing Pulse Poison, right? Of course, I believe a lot of people want Artillery Ballista Poison. That was a very strong build last league, right? There was also the Blazing Salvo forking from after it passes a Flame War. Where's that mod? That one is so interesting. There's so many good mods from Crucible that was not. I believe they were saying that they wanted to bring 5 of them this league into core, but the problem is that it wasn't ready. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, because I remember someone asked them during the Q&A when they were talking about the new league, right? Yeah, and I believe as of now, support gems are really all damage multipliers. Except the one where Zhang Run played the Eye of Winter brands. That one he actually have to use faster approach so that the interaction makes sense. But that is really only the rare case where people actually use utility support gems to get damage out. And the ultimate reason is also skill damage. You don't get unique ways to play the skill gem, which I think may be a problem that they may not fix in PoE 1. They may fix it in PoE 2. But like we all know, PoE 2 is a separate game, right?
It's not going to get fixed in PoE 2. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this point is just copium, but to be honest, I feel what Joseph said about that is not because we are so used to the way that skills in PoE is being modified by support gems. We never consider that skills can be the skills can be played differently because of unique items. I think there was one, right? Bias talk about the Joffrey Sanctuary. That one technically changes how Holy Relic is being played because you have one more, right? Don't you have one more?
You get one more, but I feel that it's strictly an upgrade compared to actually different. One thing that they actually wanted to do for this was actually threshold jewels, but they thought threshold jewels either change the skills for it to be too powerful or something. and basically all of them were like deleted from the game.
I remember, man, Threshold Jewels. Anybody remember Wildfire with Molten Strike? Wildfire gave you 2 more procs for every threshold. People can run 2 of that, right? 2 of that per build. And then they reworked that jewel so many times. They nerfed Molten Strike so many times. Eventually, it became a skill that nobody plays. While I think Wildfire for a while make the balls chain, but it deal less damage on hit, so it doesn't make sense. Then eventually they just took out every threshold jewel and just, you know what? Now jewels are good again, but you guys are not going to find any jewels, right?
Wait, there's one that actually changes. Skeleton mages.
But to be fair, skelly mages are still in the game, right? You can there was they purposely made a vendor recipe, but it was funny how people took the whole league just to figure out the vendor recipe. So that league itself, the league after they reworked jewels, everybody who was trying to scratch their skelly mages each can't play skelly mage, and I was so happy to see that, because we have a guild member that only likes to play meta skill. He was on the skelly mages bandwagon for so long. Then we are like, can't you just play can't you just play another meta skill, or just try out a new skill? But our guildmate was very sad about how he can't play skelly mage for the subsequent leagues. But now that skelly mages, the vendor recipes here, he's not playing that. He's playing RF now, so I don't get what's going on, right?
Bro, this guy really only played the most popular meta builds, right? He doesn't even play the most powerful meta builds.
Do you know who that guild is? He was there with us in ExileCon.
I know who now. You don't use it anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, all right then. Yeah, I think we will close out this podcast, and we hope that for anyone who is listening till this point, if you like our podcast, you can also just continue to watch us and subscribe to the channel, I guess. Then we'll see you in the next. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.